Hello and welcome to Take Time. I am your host, Patrick Marlette, and let's talk about the razor wire bracelet. And the question on everyone's mind is it awesome? Is it as awesome as the stock images on the Uncle Seiko website? Patrick, don't leave me waiting another 20 minutes to find out if it's awesome. Well, guys, sorry, I'm not breaking tradition today. I'm going to do this review like I do all of the reviews on my channel by starting with the bad and then moving on to the good before giving you my final opinions of whether or not the razor wire bracelet is in fact awesome. So, one of the first bad notes I have to mention about this bracelet is the fact that you need to be a member of the Seiko community to own one. You see, it's sort of an exclusive club. You have to own a Seiko Turtle or SKX to rock one of these bracelets, as the end links themselves are fitted to those particular cases. There is no straight link variant. Now, of course, Larry over at Uncle Seiko isn't leaving you guys out. If you own the SRP version or the 6306, 6309 version of the Turtle, you can rock this bracelet as well. And if you want to become a member of the Razor Club, you can also own either this SKX model, the 22mm lug width models, that is, or the 7548, which is a vintage version of the same case model. So the only real issue here, as you guys can tell, is the fact that you need to own a Seiko to rock it. And I'm laughing now because I own a lot of Seikos, so it's not such a huge issue for me. And it's a shame for everyone else because, as you guys know, I'm a huge bracelet fanatic. I love bracelets on my watches. I will go out of my way, spend any amount to get a quality bracelet for my watch. And this here is one of the best bracelets I have ever received for any watch. Now, don't get me wrong, the razor wire bracelet isn't completely without fault. As a matter of fact, the design itself, while one of my favorites, is a little polarizing. Not only that, it's one of the most difficult bracelets you'll find yourself sizing, because this right here is one individual link. And as you can tell, the razor wire bracelet is consistent of these little rings that run around a pole that composes the link. You will definitely need tweezers to size this or have someone competent handle this for you. It's not a task for the faint of heart, but it is completely doable, guys. Trust me, if I can size this bracelet, so can you. And you know, that is a minor bad note. The style of this bracelet does lend to a slightly difficult sizing. Now, another minor bad note regarding these bracelets is that they look a little wild. I've posted some images up on Instagram and up on the web, and some folks have gone back to me stating that it's just not their cup of tea. It's just a little too radical for them. Well, if you don't want to look like you walked out of the Matrix or Blade Runner, and who among us doesn't, this might not be for you, and that's totally okay. I get it. But I like the fact that we have something a little wild. To me, that's thrilling. Honestly, let's break the monotony of buying oyster bracelets or jubilee bracelets. I'm so fed up with those on my timepieces. I want the alternative. And there aren't that many manufacturers producing anything that's original or alternative in concept to those designs. Up until now. And honestly, Larry, I have nothing but good things to say about this bracelet. This is one of the coolest, most well-constructed bracelets I've received in a long while. I'm very happy I purchased this. This guy is going to live on this watch for the foreseeable future. And on that note, why don't we move on to some of our good notes, starting with the end links here. And as you can tell, they look like solid end links, but they are in fact not. It is just the level of quality control that went into the detailing and fitting of these end links that give them a more solid appearance. By the way, I love hollow end links on my watches. I find that there's usually an upscale in price when you're going to buy a bracelet that comes with either solid end links as opposed to hollow end links. And honestly, further on down the road, if this morphs or gets distorted, I can just bend it back into shape, but it's not a major issue. And as we move on down the line, we can take in those individual links. You can see they do taper from the end link down to the clasp, and the links themselves are mighty attractive. And this is what I mean by wild. by the way. These links are so otherworldly and exotic. It looks like something out of a novel, something that the fishing chief of some mythical village would wear on his own timepiece. It has such a beautiful, almost nautical appearance, but also this, again, I referred to The Matrix earlier, or Blade Runner, is something that you'd see in a futuristic sci-fi film. I've just not seen anything quite like it, and I love all of the style cues that went into this design. The bracelet weaves down to a fully machined buckle with the Uncle Seiko logo on it, and I actually really love the quality of this buckle. I also love the fact that there are 3 micro adjustment levels on the side. This is not so typical these days with, bracelets that come on dive watches. I think we need to bring the micro adjustment back. 3 is a minimum for me. Would I have liked more? Sure, but 3 is perfect, and this guy's size is perfect to my 7¼ inch wrist. Now, before I carry on with my review, I do want to show you what this guy looks like on the wrist to give you a better sense of how the razor wire might look like when you're wearing it. And here's what the razor wire bracelet looks like on my SKX 009 for all of your admirers. And when you're going to admire it, it's going to look a little something like this. Now, as you can tell, that razor wire bracelet does in fact taper down from the end links to the buckle. I believe it tapers to a 20mm buckle end, and it does lend to the wearability of this bracelet on the wrist, not only making it more aesthetically pleasing, but it also fits and wears much nicer this way. I always prefer a taper to my bracelets as opposed to a straight bracelet. This is always great. And you can tell what I'm talking about here with those end links. Again, they appear solid in form, especially when coupled with the center link that enters them. It's just a very good look. Again, all in all, extremely well designed, a really great pairing with the SKX, and I'm certain, almost positively certain, that it will also be a great pairing for your Seiko Turtle. Now, the only thing holding me back from saying that this is perfection is one minor detail. Now, as with everything on this show, this is of course my opinion, and this might not apply to everyone, but you'll notice that the tops of the SKX case are brushed, and the sides have a slight beveled edge with high polish, and of course, lower bouts with high polish as well. The links on this bracelet have brushed sides and brushed tops. I would have much preferred if the ends of these links, every single link, was high polish to match the cases these bracelets were designed for. I think aesthetically it would have tied in with the look of the watch case itself much better. And although this may seem like a minor detail, it, in my opinion, would have made the transition from bracelet to watch that much more appealing and finished this bracelet in the perfect way. Now, as it stands, that minor detail aside, this is again one of the nicer bracelets I have ever had a chance of owning. I'm honestly considering buying another one just to have it in stock should one of the links fail here, or if I get another SKX or Turtle that I want to wear this on. It's just that good. Also, guys, at $89, I have spent twice as much on other bracelets for watches I own. I'm actually going to be reviewing a bracelet for my Seiko Alpinist, the SARB 017. I bought the OEM bracelet for that watch, and it was darn near $160, and it is not of the same quality as this bracelet, nor is the design that interesting. Again, it's actually an oyster bracelet. And like I said, I would put money down on a good bracelet, and I do like getting the OEM or the original equipment manufactured bracelets for these watches, but in this case, over the Jubilee this comes on, this is an amazing alternative. And again, at $89, that is an awesome price for a quality bracelet. Now, all I have to say is if you love yourself, treat yourself, guys. This is an awesome bracelet for either your SKX or Turtle or the vintage variants of those watches. Again, you're only going to find this on a 22mm option here. I know some folks will probably try to put this on another watch. I can't guarantee that those end links will fit, but it's definitely worth the try if you don't own an SKX or Turtle, but just hold out. I know Larry is working on other razor wire end links so that these can fit on other watches. And I do hope that it finds the success it deserves so that he can make these for every Seiko. That is the biggest bad note I have to mention. Why didn't you make this for every Seiko out there? It is honestly my favorite bracelet right now. I'm so thoroughly enjoying it, and I can't wait to see if you come out with more options for us. Do let me know. Again, the review is going to be the same. It's awesome. It's wild. You're going to look like Harrison Ford from Blade Runner. It's worth it. I don't know that Harrison Ford wore a razor wire bracelet and or a Seiko in the Blade Runner series. But that's beside the point. It has that kind of edge that's just so cool. And guys, if you had any comments or questions about this bracelet, of course, feel free to ask them in the comment section down below. That's why it's there. If you have friends, forums, or groups that were interested in alternative bracelets for one of their favorite watches, their go-to beater or their favorite diver, well, guess what? The razor wire bracelet is an awesome alternative. Again, at $89, I think it's well worth it. Again, it's 316L stainless steel. I feel like that goes without saying these days, but it is some of the nicest material choices any brand could make on a great alternative bracelet. So feel free to share this video with them if they were interested in picking up something for their SKX that is other than the rubber or Jubilee that it comes on. Also, if this is your first time watching the channel, guess what? I do these videos twice a week, so feel free to hit that subscribe button if you want to see more watch-related content. Also, when you're down there, there is a bell you can hit, and you will see when my videos come out precisely when they come out. Again, my name is Patrick Marlatt, and thank you for the time.